Are you a filmmaker, producer, director, actor, screenplay writer? Are you an aspiring filmmaker looking to start a career in the movie industry? Do you want to see what happens behind the scenes when you're looking at those movies in your local cinema?
Forget the pact, babe. We'll blame on the exotic pepperoni.
Take 101 will take you on a journey of the filmmaking process, from concept to reality, from idea to motion picture. Take 101 will bring you, the industry professionals, and take you through the A to Z of the filmmaking process.
They all wrote to me, don't forget me when you're famous, and remember me when you're on the stage.
Yeah, my door is open to anybody. You don't necessarily have to be.
Unfortunately, I know it's called show business, and so you have to balance the show with the business.
In a dynamic way, all will be revealed on Take 101. On today's show, we go behind the scenes on the new set of the short film, Forget the Pact.
Hi, I'm Faye. Welcome to Take 101. Let us take you on a journey into the art of filmmaking. Let's break it down into bite-sized chunks. Pre-production, production, and post-production. What happens in pre-production?
Pre-production are all the things that you're going to do, first of all, that's make sure that you don't have a problem later on when you're filming the film. Right? Because filmmaking is one of the most unpredictable, one of the most hazardous, and used to be one of the most expensive kind of art forms. So you don't want to start making mistakes early, because they're going to cost you. So pre-production is a time when you sit down with your team, yes, the director, the producer. Usually you have somebody called a line producer, makeup, the art department, anybody. And you say, all right, this is how long we think we're going to be able to shoot for. These are the actors that we've got. And you just work through everything. So it's like your business planning period before you actually start the business of shooting and making the film.
Get the car. What? Get out. Police. Out! Do you have a license? You can do the job?
Not me. I just provide the goods. They do the work.
If you are doing a movie, there's a possibility that whoever is investing in it is going to get his money back with a profit. That's on one side. Then on the other hand, if it's a corporate organization or a body, there's a possibility that they can get quite a lot of media exposure from whatever project you're doing. So it's actually two ways. Like my father said, it's the most difficult thing in negotiating on an empty stomach. So even if you are going with an empty stomach, assume that you have eaten. So once you're not negotiating from a position of hunger, you get the best you can, because like I said, business is not what you deserve, it's what you can negotiate. Unfortunately, I know it's called show business, and so you have to balance the show with the business, but I lean towards the show a bit too much. Maybe that's why I haven't made too much money. But then, whatever you're doing must have some benefits to whoever you're approaching. Either it's financial, in terms of publicity, advertising, maybe a tax rebate or whatever.
Okay, so production is probably the most exciting part of the filmmaking process.
All right, production means that hopefully you're ready to go. You've got your actors, all your actors are confirmed. You've got all your locations that you've done in pre-production. Your location man has scouted them. You've got your DOP, the director of photography, guy's gonna shoot it. You got your actors, and so your producer and your line producer work very hard to keep the production up to the schedule, right, that you've put together in pre-production. But obviously, anything can happen. Somebody could break a leg, a car could get stolen, but you have to be able to adjust to that. And then the director and the producer just try to shoot according to the schedule, as tightly as they can in order to save money and get the job done. That's production.
During production, you then have to work out how you want to tell your story and then bring life to the screenplay. This will determine what camera and crew you will use.
Everything goes through the camera. Everything you do is filtered through the lens and then the camera. There's no neutral thing you can do with the camera. So it all, every moment where you put the camera, what you do with it is completely up to you. And there's no neutral position which is more correct than any other position. It all depends on the story and what you do with the camera at any point in time. No two cinematographers will shoot the things the same, and obviously the cinematographer works for the director, and no two directors will see a thing the same. But film is not like theatre. There's no standard proscenium view of it. You've always got to choose where to witness them from, and that means something, that signifies something, and so that's your storytelling tool with the camera. Well, the choice of the individual camera is only one of many choices. I mean, there's the choice of lens as well, which is really important, but there's a few that are considered the best, but it depends on, there's a few considerations. There's, post. Some cameras have a heavier post process than others. Some cameras are more expensive, some cameras work well in certain scenarios, some cameras let you do high speed.
Cameras are the single most important piece of equipment because they are the storytellers. The mood and the emotional accuracy are all down to how you use a camera.
You should really be thinking about is, where do I want to put the camera? How do I want to move it? Do I want to move it? How do I evolve the visual language through time? And to try and find the angles that'll tell your story rather than easy angles are the ones you read in a textbook. And also, what lenses to use. To put on that camera. Because a lot of these cameras here will come with lenses attached, but the digital cinema cameras won't. You have to choose what lenses to put on them, and that has a massive impact on the image, maybe more of an impact than the choice of camera. It's now less about whether you're using Red, Epic, Alexa, Genesis, C500. They're all kind of similar in their broad strokes.
Story is one of the most compelling ingredients in filmmaking. How do you create a good story? We talked to the writer of the new short film, Forget the Pact, David Soames.
As I said, it's Forget the Pact, it's called. But it was, I thought, well, because I've never written a 12-minute movie before. But anyway, I thought, right, it's got to be one location, so I put it in a house, and I thought, well, let's make it a party, so that gives us more people. And it looks like, oh, this is quite an expensive type movie, because there's like 15 people, but 12 of them are not saying anything, they're just walking around at a party. And it'd be easy to get people to be doing that, because they'd like to be involved. And we thought, summer's evening garden, or spring evening garden, and then the shed at the bottom of the garden. Two women own the house, Sarah and Lee. And they've got a best friend called Frankie. And because they're best friends, they made a pact that they would never become romantically involved. And that was the whole thing. And on the night of the party, Lee decides, I'm going to have Frankie.
Tonight, I'm going to make a move on Frankie. What? I'm finally going to tell him that I fancy him and that it's his lucky night.
Lee, you can't meet. We made a pact.
do actors add value to your story?
When you're doing a story, is either you do your casting, your major casting, while you're doing the story, especially when you have a particular artist in mind. So after doing the audition, then you now select the ones you want, you understand, and now start casting, you understand, because the audition is just to try them to see if they can act.
We're in the movie.
We have a 3 major characters in my story in International Games. So we'll have the other ones who are supporting and extras. So after the script itself, we did the budget. After the budget, then we went straight to do our casting. So when we finish our casting, then the equipment we use, and the camera and every other thing is by the side, because we have people we work with.
We talked to Mo George, who stars in Forget the Pact.
I started acting from a very young age. From about the age of 8, I was always enthusiastic about writing my own shows, choreographing dance routines, writing poems, songs that I'd win awards from. People still remember it to this day, actually, which is quite sweet. And then from my primary school, they actually, I do remember when we left, people used to write notes in our Bible, and they say, like, good luck in the future, but they all wrote to me, don't forget me when you're famous, and remember me when you're on the stage. So I always believe that they kind of blessed me, you know, to they foresee that I was going to become, you know, somebody in the entertainment industry.
Truth or dare?
Dare. No. Truth.
Right. Between Lee and Sarah, who would you most like to get it on with?
As you may already know, making a film's not rocket science. All it takes is courage and enthusiasm.